library?
The lobby of the library right now. You can come in here and get a new library card. Our library cards are free. I want to make sure people are aware of that because they're so valuable, but they're free to Quincy residents as long as you live within the city of Quincy proper, and also if you're in the townships of the Quincy district, and that includes Melrose, Riverside, Ellington, and part of the Gilmer Township. So look on your tax bill, and that'll tell you if you are eligible for that library card. But you can get all of these services that we're about to talk to you for free with that library card. We're also offering a temporary digital card right now on our website, so you can go to quincylibrary.org and sign up for that. If you're still not comfortable coming out to the building, that'll get you access to all of our digital services temporarily in a month or so. You can come back in and get a real card with that. So I want to show you around. This is the lobby. We always have some new book displays out. Some of our staff kits are here. Right now we've got a Pride Month display.
Let's check that Pride Month display out. That's pretty cool.
So these switch out regularly, about monthly, with new displays, but they're always a great place to find new reads when you're looking for things. Behind you, Laura, I'm going to turn a little bit. This is Secondhand Prose, which is our used bookstore. The Friends of the Library does this for us. It's closed right now. We hope to have it open very soon. But this is their primary fundraiser through the year. So they do a couple book sales, and then you can come in here and get used books. And it's really Quincy's only used bookstore. So that's really awesome. I don't think a lot of people know that it's here. But it is open through the day. Most afternoons 1 to 5, Katie?
Usually, well, the hours are posted, but it's usually 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Sometimes 4:30.
It's all volunteer staff.
Yeah,
That's why the.
Volunteer. So, and they're open usually Saturdays as well. So for those that work during the day, come down on your Saturday and get your used books.
I want to mention, if you do have questions while we're going through this, do put them in the comments and we will put them out to the girls.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple changes that I want to point out because of our new COVID requirements, COVID changes. We are asking that you use the book return to the front of our building before you come in. The one that is normally at the circulation counter is closed right now, along with all the other book drops around town. We have them at Hy-Vee, we have them at County Market, we have them all over town for you. So you can drop your books off, but they are closed, so we just ask that you use the one at the front of the building. That makes it a little easier for us to quarantine materials right now to keep our staff and other patrons safe. As you come in, we also have our locker bank in the front of the building. If you want to do contactless delivery, we can get you your materials in the lockers out there. We also have them around town at Isles, Lincoln Douglas Elementary School, and at County Market on 48th Street. So that's a great option if you're still not quite ready to come into the library right now.
So tell me how that works.
So you can place a hold online through our card catalog online, or you can give us a call. We'll pull those materials for you, let you know when things are ready, and then outside you just type the last 4 digits of your library card number on the key card, press enter, and it'll pop right open for you. You can pick it up 24/7.
If you're not sure how to get those into the locker, make sure that you check your pickup location if you're placing your own hold, or let us know that you want it to be placed in a locker when you call the library and place the hold on that item, so that we know which locker bank to put it into. Otherwise, you're going to have a really fun scavenger hunt around town.
Right.
Sounds good.
Behind us, we have one of our self-check stations. These are really cool, and these are what we're
This is a new one,
encouraging
isn't it?
our patrons to use right now, just to limit that contact a little bit. So we still have our great circ team behind the counter, but you can check out here. It's nice, it's safe and clean. It gets sanitized after every use, so a great option right now, especially with all the kind of new regulations that are out there. So we're going to keep walking over here to our children's section. As we go by, I want to point out a couple of our study rooms. Right now, we are not doing room rentals. We hope to start back up in July. So if you need kind of a quiet place to come and study and focus, these are available to rent starting in July, hopefully. And they're a great option if you need a little bit of a quiet place. And then we also have our small conference room here. Right now, you can kind of get a behind-the-scenes look. It's where we're quarantining all of our materials. We're letting things sit for 7 days before they go back on the shelves. But ordinarily, this is a nice meeting room where groups can come in if you need a space to meet. And our board meets in here and several important meetings. So,
all right. So as we move on into our children's library, this is supported and was named after the Charles A. and Nancy Schultz family. They've been great supporters of the library, and specifically the children's library, because of the emphasis that we offer on, really encouraging reading at all ages. But we know that the love of reading starts when you are the youngest. So as we enter into the children's library, we love first of all, our murals, which were done by Jennifer Bach Nelson. This is a view of the Quincy, area, the island, the bridge. People who are down on the riverfront regularly will recognize this location. But Jennifer was fabulous as we were renovating the library, as we were building our new spaces here. She came in and actually did 3 different sets of murals for us, as well as frames in the children's craft area. So we love having her be able to be highlighted here in the Quincy Public Library. Of course, children's books are fantastic and colorful and gorgeous. We have so many different options for all ages. We have picture books for the very youngest readers, those board books that are more durable for kids who haven't quite learned the art of turning pages yet. Picture books that are just beautiful and tell stories for everything that we need. Regularly, there are displays here. Right now, we have a June display up, but we also...
Hold on, here's one that we're doing in my house right now.
Yes, we love that series. That is one of our very favorite things, and very important to make sure that kids know that it's not just something that you have to do, it's something the pirates have to do also. I believe there's a second one in that series called How Girls Go Potty. So,
Oh, good.
Depending on which flavor you want, you can go either direction.
Okay, remind me about that when we leave.
We will, absolutely. Of course, we have our children's librarian, Bill Waters, who is here, and we're so glad to have him back in the building and answering questions about all of the children's materials that we have. In addition to the physical books, we also have, usually, not right now during the shutdown, but we do have iPads that can be used by students who are 4th through 6th grade. We have some coding toys, the Codapillar and, Ozobot and things like that children can check out for in-house use here in the library. They'll use their library card, play with those coding toys, learn how to develop the games and learn through those toys. And in addition to that, we also then have the AWE computers, which are learning games, literacy games for our younger children. Normally, we also have a lot of puzzles and games and doll houses, things like that as well, for families and children to go on a picnic table, play in the schoolhouse. We have our small puppet theater. Those items are currently put away due to concerns with cross-contamination, but we love being able to offer those. We will be excited to offer those once we come back and have open services. The tree is kind of our focal point here in the library. This was a donation from the Napai family when we renovated the library, which was 10 years ago already. I have such a hard time thinking that was 10 years ago. But it's a beautiful tree. Most of it is fiberglass, but some of the leaves and upper branches are actually oak leaves and trees, or branches. So we love having that here and showing off that even though this is a space with not a lot of natural light, it's still a very welcoming and open area for the children to explore in the library. We do have computers for the children that can be used for internet access. We have cataloging computers. These are, again, limited due to the corona issues, but if you do need a reservation on one of these computers, you can call the library and get that set up so that you or your child can use a computer while you're here in the library.
Great.
Yes, we offer all kinds of materials. So we have recorded books, books on audio CD. We have downloadable materials and e-resources for the children, DVDs, music CDs, games to play, PS3, Xbox, Wii U, and those can all be found on our catalog at quincylibrary.org.
Right, and my kids have enjoyed some online magazines and things. How do we access online materials if we have a library card?
So if you go to the Quincy Library website, quincylibrary.org, most of those can be found under the ebooks link, or there's a link for Hoopla and Flipster at the top of the screen. So you click on the one of those that you want to access. Under the ebooks, there are actually 3 different ways that you can get ebooks and e-audiobooks, electronic resources. For 2 of those, which are the Overdrive ebooks and Access 360 ebooks, you need to have your library card number and the PIN or password that is associated with your account. If you don't know what that is, call the desk, call the library, 223-1309, and we will help you reset that password, or we will reset it to the last 4 digits of your library card for you. For the other one, for Hoopla, you actually will need to set up an account using your library card number, an email address, and a password of your choosing. And those will allow you access to digital books, ebooks, e-audiobooks, and for Hoopla, you can also get access to movies, television series, and music albums as well, which is just fantastic. Those are limited. For the ebooks and the audiobooks, most of them are 5 at a time or 5 per calendar month. it's a hoopla because the items are more expensive and it is paid per use that the library is paying in order to use those materials. It is limited to 4 per month, so you kind of have to plan your month out in advance for that. But if you have any questions about that, definitely call the reference desk, which I believe is the second choice when you call the main library number, and speak to us about that. There are instructions online that you can find as well.
This may be a good time to talk about summer reading.
Yeah, sure. So summer reading is going to look a little bit differently this year. We're being very careful and very cautious of our programs, but we're excited to work with a company called Beanstack this year, just like Jack and Beanstack, stack instead of stock though. So that I feel like we spent 3 weeks just internally trying to get that straight. So Beanstack. But we're going to have a digital summer reading program option for people this year. So you can actually log your reading on our website, on Beanstack's website, and through their digital app. That will hopefully be going live in a couple weeks. So keep an eye out for that on our social media pages, and we'll do, I'm sure, a big announcement. But we're still going to have the prizes to give away. We're still going to have the bikes for the kiddos. And we're hoping to still do some in-person programming later in the summer when it's hopefully a little bit safer to do. So keep an eye out for that. Again, check our Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram, and our website. And we'll keep you updated on all those developments as we have dates.
All right.
So Katie kind of pointed out on the walls, you can see the wide variety of materials in here, and it makes things super easy to find. So the kiddos love to see it and just run over to the section of choice. So I think we're going to head back over this way.
If you guys have any questions while we're going through the library, please do ask. You know, all of the digital resources are new to my family this year, so it's been nice to learn a little bit more about how to access those and really the humongous number of resources that are available.
And I do want to point out quickly.
Oh yeah, this is a great corner.
Yeah, people don't realize, but we actually check out fishing poles. So if you want to go fishing, I know sometimes it can be expensive to get the supplies. We have these out in the summer. We just got them out for this year. So just with your library card, you can check out a fishing pole and be ready to go. So look out for those free fishing weekends and come get them.
That's fabulous.
We also have books, as you can see from the sign, identification guides and things like that, tips for how to fish, where to fish, maps of some of the local areas that are open for public fishing, because you want to make sure that you're following all of the guidelines from the Department of Natural Resources while you're doing that.
Right. Well,
never know what
you never know what you can check out at the library.
So things do look a little bit differently right now. We've got the plexiglass in front of all of our public desks just to keep people safe. And again, we're encouraging social distancing and asking people to wear
automatically assigns the first available volunteer.
We've also got
But
our
then the
copy
others have to
station
be
here, which I want to point out. So we have printing, we have copy. I know sometimes we don't have access to those resources at home. So for a very small fee, you can come and get copies, color, black and white. We can set a fax for you. We can print for you from our public computers. So there's a lot of options for that. If you're kind of looking for that business center element that you don't always have at home.
Sue says she always tries to stop by the used bookstore when she comes back from Georgia.
Oh, great. We love to hear that. One other thing that I'll point out before we get into the real reference area are these library catalogs that we have kind of around our reference area. This allows you to look at everything we have in our collection and everything that's in our consortia's collection as well. We have over 176,000 items in our collection just here in this building. So hopefully we can accommodate what you're looking for, but if we can't, we also have an interlibrary loan service. I know, Laura, you've been a large proponent of that in the past, which we're grateful for.
If you're a student, you've got to check out interlibrary loan. It'd save you some dollars.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, right now, delivery on that is shut down, so we are limited to what's in our collection. We're hoping, though, in a few weeks that'll pick back up as well. So if the 176,000 items are not enough for you, you can get something in from another library depending on what you're looking for.
All right, so as we come into the main part of the library, of course, we have our new arrivals, the newest books that have been published. It's actually really exciting to see items on the shelves here because when we're normally open, a lot of those materials are already checked out. So we love seeing this. We have several displays or things that are highlighted over the years, bestsellers. We have what's called the Q Picks, which are items that can be checked out only for 7 days. Those can't have holds placed on them. So if you see it on the shelf and you want to pick it up, it's yours, and then you just need to return it in time for the next person. So we also have usually posted the New York Times bestseller lists and things like that. In addition, right now we do still have tax forms because that deadline has been extended, and we have our large type materials for people who are having vision problems, or like me, you know, you're just kind of starting to want to read in bed without having your glasses on. You know, it's a little easier for you to open those materials and read out of those. And we did recently move our adult graphic novel collection to the end of this shelf so that it would be more accessible to everyone who is reading those graphic novels. As you will see, as we kind of pan through our reference area, normally this entire table is filled with computers, but at this time, because of social distancing and safety measures, we are limiting the number of people who can be on the computers at a time to the 4 that are here, and then we have 2 that are against the wall next to the large type materials. We also have 2 at our teen zone that can be reserved, and we are recommending that you call ahead and reserve a specific time so that we make sure that there's space for you while you come into the library.
Another service I took advantage of here is online proctoring. Are you still doing proctoring? Absolutely.
We are offering that, but of course, as Burgundy said, we do not have the space in the study rooms right now to reserve a space for that. But definitely call and let us know if you have a test that is coming up that you need to have something proctored, and we can make sure that we can accommodate that with a staff member. We do have multiple staff members at the reference desk. We try to keep at least 2 people there at all times. Sometimes you'll see 3 or 4 of us running around. But again, we have the plexiglass for our safety, for your safety. And then, of course, lots of hand sanitizer. And we are wiping down each of the computer stations after every reservation to make sure that everything is being as safe and healthy as we possibly can. But if you have questions about any of our electronic resources, any of our downloadable materials, this is the place to come. We have brochures about each one of those items. We also talk about our wireless printing and document scanner. We can help you send those faxes out in the lobby and just answer generally any questions that you have about our online resources. So it's exciting to know that we have people that have discovered those during the time that the library was closed, and also, you know, we want to help everyone else get access to those as quickly as possible once they get those library cards.
I also want to mention our tech tutor and book a librarian, which our reference staff primarily handles. So if you're having trouble with a new tablet that you got as a gift or a new device, and you need a little help getting it set up or getting your apps on it, or whatever be the case, you can book a tech tutor appointment with one of our librarians, and they'll help you as much as we can get things ready to go. Or book a librarian if you have a more intense research project that you need help with, or want to use our Illinois room, which I think we're going to head into shortly. You know, how to use the microfilms, that kind of thing. You can set up an appointment with your book a librarian, and they'll get you all set up.
Okay.
All right. Illinois room next. Okay. So for some people, they already are going to know this, but our Illinois room is for local history and genealogy. This is strongly supported by our Great River Genealogical Society members. Normally on Tuesday mornings, we would have at least 1 volunteer here, but we're waiting on them to determine what the best procedures and practices are going to be as they return to the library. So come on in and we'll show you some of the highlights in this space. This is traditionally one of our quieter areas in the library, and right now we are taking reservations for patrons who want to come in and use these materials and resources, or use their own laptop while they're here in the library. Most of our seating areas have been closed because of the concerns about cross-contamination, but in the Illinois room we have so many materials. Starting with maps of Quincy. We have old Illinois maps of the various areas here. These are fantastic. Census maps, Illinois topographical maps, historical maps of Quincy and Adams County. And some of these are quite large.
Oh, wow.
You know, so we're able to pull out these materials and people can see.
Oh, wow.
What this, you know,
Did
what
not see
Quincy and the general vicinity.
We weren't expecting
like.
that, right?
No.
You know, this is one of the bigger ones that we have, but you know, it's fantastic to go back and look at some of those old items and see where things were or what new developments there were at the time that the map was printed.
Wow.
So researchers are welcome to come in and look at those materials. If they have a camera that they can get a large enough shot of it, they're welcome to take copies of those, or we can pull them out and put them in on the copy machine or on one of the scanners so that you have an opportunity to scan that and explore it more at your leisure. Next to that, we have our vertical files, which are organized specifically for print materials or articles that were published, brochures, magazines about Quincy history and its environment. We have a lot of historical business and industry information, lots of information on the parks system, on the schools, on the arts council, as well as biographies of famous Quincyans. What you're leaning against right now actually is usually a display, but we also have all of our materials from the flood of 1993 in that cabinet. So if anyone wants to do research on the flood of 93 and how it was reported, we have all of those materials in one location. Moving on down, we also have, from a lot of people, they're going to recognize the name Carl Landrum, who was a local historian and writer here in town. So we have all of the articles that he wrote for the Quincy Herald-Whig, organized by date, and then those are also indexed here. So if you remember that Carl wrote about something, or you think you remember seeing an image associated with a famous place here in town, you can actually use that index to find it and then see the article itself. We also have our newspapers on microfilm, starting with April of 1835. So, almost 200 years worth of newspapers on microfilm. Of course, the early years up to 1926 are color-coded because there were multiple newspapers at that time. So we have the Daily Herald, the Weekly Herald, the Weekly Whig, the Journal, the Morning Whig, you name it, it's there. And then we also have, up to 2018 at this point, on microfilm. So if there's something that you're looking for in the Quincy Herald-Whig, you can come here and look at these. We also have the newspaper archive online at archive.quincylibrary.org. That has from 1835 to 1926 on it and can be searched by keyword or browsed by date. So if you're looking for the day that the Titanic sank or the day that Queen Victoria died or information about the influenza in 1918, you can go onto that digital resource and find information about those events and activities.
And we're currently in the process of updating that and getting several more years added to our online archive. So we've actually got a lot of files in Brazil, of all places, right now that are being archived for us, and we'll hopefully be going online to that newspaper archive soon.
We're going to be adding more and more years. It's going to be thrilling, and we're very appreciative to the Quincy Herald-Whig and all of the people that have been involved with that to make it possible. We do have several microfilm machines here that are theoretically able to print, scan, and save items to a USB drive. Of course, IT being IT, sometimes we don't always have that capability, but we will find a workaround to help you get the materials and information that you're interested in to your email or print it out so that you can take it with you while you are here in the library. Again, these were great support from the Great River Genealogical Society. And as you see, we have a lot of our historic photos on the walls as well. These were used in many of the articles that Carl Landrum printed, but were absorbed into the library's collection several years ago, and we were able to create the Quincy Area Historical Photo Collection as well, which is visible through our website, quincylibrary.org. They're part of the Illinois Digital Archives as well as the Digital Public Library of America. So if you are there searching, you can find articles and information from Quincy on those websites as well. We also have physical copies of some of the photos here, so that if you're looking for homes or businesses or education or entertainment, you can go to that finder and see which of the photos are available. If you would like to have a copy, you're more than welcome to do that as well. And, as we move further down toward the end of the room, so much Quincy history, so many books about Abraham Lincoln and the history of Illinois and the Civil War, as well as family histories, city directories for Quincy, and then also immigration and genealogical resources for people from other countries. So,
and even some of the surrounding counties here. We've got Pike County, Brown County, all the close ones. Whatever history we can get our hands on for those areas as well. So this really is the Illinois room with a focus on Quincy and Adams County.
Absolutely. Some of the histories of churches, we keep records for the city of Quincy and their annual reports. So again, if you're looking for it, we can probably help you find it here in the Illinois room. We'll sneak back through the reference office real quick just so that you can see that location. This is kind of our first behind the scenes peek. But all of the lovely people that work out at the reference desk, myself included, have spaces back here so that we can do the projects that can't really be done while we're out at the desk, including book selection and working on special projects. We've got a project going for the George Irwin family right now. We have historical research that is done for people who are out of state or cannot come to the library physically. And so this is just one of those areas where we keep that material. Genealogical Society also has a shelf in here for their materials that are available for sale through their website. Do you want to? Okay. We'll keep going on through here. We do have a small archive room for materials that are really too fragile to be out in the public collection, but those are available to be looked at if you are going to request space. We've got a lot of really good storage and materials here that that are not able to be out in the public collection most of the time, but if you need one of them, we're happy to pull that out for you.
And our monitors that are normally out of the computer are filed in here as well right now. So we're gonna sneak through here and head downstairs. This is ordinarily our large meeting room. So we have a lot of meetings, events in here. All lights are off right now, but you can come to our Monday movies when we typically have those. We have several discussion groups that meet in here. So just any large library programs are usually held back in this room. So we're excited to share it, board meetings, all of that. And hopefully we'll pick those up very soon for your patrons again. So we're going to keep coming this way.
And as we go through, of course, if anyone is familiar with this space, you do know that we show you movies here. We've got projectors, we have Wi-Fi. There's some wonderful local groups that meet in here and are just able to use our spaces by reservation when they're not being used for a library event.
If you have any questions as we're going along, we're going to do a little bit of walking right now, but please do ask in the comments and we'll put them out for you.
So we've kind of come around the long way here. Most people will be familiar with just going by the computers and getting back to AV. So we're going to go back in the stacks, but before we do that, we're actually going to head downstairs so you can see a sneak peek at our delivery and tech area. So for those of you who have been around Quincy for a little bit longer, you may remember that this used to be the old children's library before the library was renovated about 10 years ago. So it's going to look familiar to some and a little bit different to others.
Take a quick peek out the window.
Yeah, we've got the beautiful atrium out here as well on this rainy day.
Yes, and that of course is the magic flute sculpture, which you can kind of see a little bit. It's moving in the wind and with the rain. Every once in a while, if it is windy enough, you'll actually see those blades moving around and whistling at you because it is set up to make noise as well.
This is the real behind-the-scenes sneak peek. Most people don't get a chance to see this, but this is where we process new books when they come in. As books get delivered, they get cataloged here, they get barcoded, they get all ready to go upstairs, and then a lot of our repairing happens down here. So as books get a little bit worn and torn, as much as we can do to repair it down here, we'll do that. So these are the lovely ladies that help with that.
Hi, lovely ladies.
We've also got all of our homebound deliveries set up here. So if you are homebound, we can bring books to you every week. You can give us a call if you want more information on that program. So you can kind of see the shelves here where they prep all of that. And then if you keep going back, this is our interlibrary loan prep area. So Sally back here will process things, get them shipped in and shipped out as people reserve those materials. Since the system is currently shut down, she's in the process of packing up a lot of books that have been here so they can get back to their home libraries.
We're asked how many pieces are checked out a year at the library. Do we have any ideas of that?
We just did our annual report, but I believe it works out to around 600,000 items a year.
Wow.
Checked out from Quincy Public Library, and of course that includes the materials that are brought in from other libraries, things that are renewed, items that are checked out from our digital resources and downloadables as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have a lot of materials moving through.
Quincy's just good readers. That's what it is.
That's what they will.
Okay, bear with me up the stairs, guys. I'm never great with the stairs. And I'm going to go first.
We'll catch you that way.
Starting next week, we'll have a gimbal, and you guys won't have all this bobbling from me. I'm sorry. There's a beautiful sculpture again.
And if you'd like to find out more about the sculpture, we do have some information at the reference desk about that so that our patrons can learn more about the family that donated it to us. We have so much artwork and photographs and things like that around the library. So even if you are here and you've already got your materials, take a moment to look around and really appreciate more of the culture that's here, not just those physical items that we have to check out. So as we go through the AV area, of course, we have fiction materials and nonfiction materials, just like we do with the books. Currently, we do have a limit of 10 items per card for the items that you check out, whether it's a DVD, books on CD, music CDs, whatever format you want to have. We have a lot of displays, and one of our favorite things that have been very popular lately are the binge boxes.
Oh, yeah.
This was an idea that we created a couple years ago. This is binge box number 13, which is Laugh Out Loud. It has Animal House, Caddyshack, National Lampoon's Vacation, and Nothing But Trouble. You get this all for one checkout on your card. So you can load up on these. I will admit I loaded up on the Avengers and Pirates of the Caribbean before we went into lockdown. But these are great. We have a lot of holiday themed, one romance themed, adventure themed, and then of course by actor. So we have Steve McQueen or Doris Day, or the boxes that are specific by an actor or actress. Lots of fun and easy way to keep yourself entertained over the course of a weekend. We also do a lot of displays with our movies, so if there are award winners or Oscar winners, things that you want to see, maybe you missed one of the Oscar movies, we try to get those in as quickly as possible, and we do tag those as new movies or award winners so that they're easy to find in the catalog.
And then we're also getting into our music CDs and our books on CD. So you can download that audiobook to your device through our e-resources, but if you still want to listen to a CD, we have a large collection of books on CD here that you can check out as well.
And these are great for long trips, or if someone's on the road a lot, it makes it so much easier to pass the time if you have a series of books and a narrator that you enjoy listening to. So as we're going to the main stacks here in the big shelves, our fiction materials, our entertainment stories, James Patterson, Danielle Steele, Nora Roberts, all of those. Those are going to be on the right-hand side of this main aisle as we walk down. We do have our large type materials first. So again, more of those older large type materials. And then on the left-hand side, we have our nonfiction materials. And that starts off with our reference collection, which stays here in the library. You're always welcome to use these materials, but they are not things that can be checked out and taken out of the building. So there's always, hopefully, something about whatever topic you're looking at available in the library, even if you cannot check it out for some reason. We recently added our large type nonfiction to this area as well. And then we have our regular nonfiction, which can be taken out of the building, starting here on this second shelf. We've got some great helper signs that are here in the library, so if you're not entirely sure where to look for whatever your topic is, or you're not sure about the catalog, you can use some of these guidepost signs as well.
This is one of my favorite signs, actually, because sometimes you have a question about things and you're not, quite as comfortable asking us or asking our librarians about it. So we've got this that's just a really quick guide of some of those more tough topics that people might be looking for information on.
And as we get a little further on, you'll be able to peek down the aisle here and see where we put our newspaper and magazine storage. So if we look down this way, we do have multiple newspapers. I think we've got about 20 different newspapers that we have on order here at the library, and these are daily and weekly papers, not just from Quincy, but from around the nation. So we get the New York Times, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, as well as things like the Liberty Bee and the Camp Point Journal, smaller newspapers that are here in the area, Macomb, Jacksonville, some great newspapers. We keep all of those for about 3 months. So if you have someone that in another city, come here and check the library to see if we have the article available.
Someone's asking, I think they're into the trivia, who the most popular checked out author is at Quincy Public Library right now. Or who are your contenders? Maybe we should do contenders.
I always say Patterson is a contender just because he has so many items, so many
sheer number
series of books that he is part of. But we have a lot of Western authors. Elmer Kelton, William Johnstone, they're very popular. Sherilyn Kenyon is probably very popular in the supernatural and romance category. Nora Roberts and her alter ego J.D. Robb. And then we have, as far as genres go, I would say our Amish and Christian romance and Christian fiction is a very strong contender for that title as well, because those are very popular authors, and they tend to write in series. So people come in and they want the whole set all at once.
And I would say the last few weeks, as people have been home more, we've definitely seen an uptick in some of our nonfiction, like our craft books and our cooking books and things like that, as people have been kind of looking for things to do or trying new recipes. I mean, we have aisles of cooking books, so cookbooks and recipes, so we can really meet your need. I know I'm one of those people that are more hesitant to actually go out and buy a cookbook because I want one recipe in it, but this is great because you can check out as many as you want and try as many new things as you want. So
That looks like a rainy day cookbook right there.
right.
I would like that soup, thank you.
Exactly.
That's right.
Also back with the newspapers along the far wall, we have our back issues of magazines. The library offers, I think, about 70 different issues of magazines that we have, and those are kept for a whole year plus whatever the current year is. So right now we still have the 2019 magazines as well as all of the 2020 magazines that have come in. Back issues of those magazines can be checked out, or you can access some of them on our Flipster catalog as well. We move back this way. Of course, we're getting farther and farther into the nonfiction materials, but we also have our biographies and autobiographies back here on the last sets of shelving. And these are organized by the last name of the person the book is about. So if you have a favorite person, historical figure, actor, athlete, whatever your person happens to be, we have lots of materials. We've got Madeleine Albright, we've got Louisa May Alcott, Alan Alda, and again, those are organized by the last name of the person the book is about. So come here and find out more about those people.
Yeah, and we've also got our mystery section on this side in the fiction that starts in this row right here and works our way back. We've also got paperbacks back here, so all sorts of options, and we can kind of sneak through here and we'll come out in our teen zone.
I see we have Kathleen Hesselbeck, the ED of the library, tuning in.
Oh, great. Hi, Kathleen.
Good morning.
This is our teen zone, our young adult area. We've got all kinds of books, directly targeted them, but we also have graphic novels and all sorts of nonfiction resources back here that might be helpful. So this is a great area for the teens to kind of have their own space. We also do our Wednesday program for the teens, which I want to plug. It's a great after-school program where they can come in and just hang out for a few hours after school. We've got games going. We pull our Switch out. We pull our Wii out. There's usually a D&D game happening in the corner and some craft projects happening in another corner. So we hope to pick that back up when the school year starts up in August. But that's a really popular program for 13 through 17-year-olds that we really love.
And we do try to reserve this space, especially in the afternoons after school, for the teens to come in and be comfortable being back here, not feel like they're going to be watched by adults, but also, open enough that if something does happen or there's an issue of some sort, we can immediately come over and help them wherever we can. So we've now made the circle.
Yeah,
we're back to the computers and to the magazine issues, newspaper subscriptions, and we will.
So to wrap up, how can people support the library?
We have many options. First and foremost, just use the library. We love to see those usage numbers. So come get your library card. Come take advantage of our services. Because that goes out in our annual reports, and that really shows the value of the library more than anything. Is when we know people in the community value it and are using the resources. Second, though, we do have a couple supporting groups and foundations that help us regularly. The Friends of the Library, which we mentioned, run our bookstore. They're kind of our volunteer group. So if you want to be a little bit more active, you can join that group. You can help out in the bookstore. You can help with their fundraisers. They do all sorts of stuff to support us throughout the year. And then for people that just want to donate and help fiscally, there's the Mary Williams Spartan Foundation. They are a nonprofit foundation where the library is the sole beneficiary of that money. So you can always make a donation to Mary Williams, and that will support our collection, that will support capital projects, that will just support our daily operations throughout the year with different projects. So there's all kinds of different ways to support.
And just in general, talk up the library to your friends, to your neighbors, to new people that that are moving into town.
To city council members, too.
And do write a letter to the city council, attend a city council meeting, or ask to speak. We did a great program, a series of speakers last year, and we're very lucky to have some great support from our community members, from our, kind of those stakeholders in the community, the people that really are getting the most out of their library cards and out of the library service. And we want to encourage that to continue. So if you are unsure about the library or you didn't know all of these things about the library, please, share this video, join the library's Facebook page, be part of our activity group, and share what we're posting, share what we are putting out there in the community, so that we know that the value of the library is being explained and told beyond just what we can do ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the aldermen, the city council members, but please do, show your support, write a letter. Katie mentioned going to a meeting. But they're, end of the day, who controls our budget. They're, end of the day, who controls the resources that we can provide for the community. The city of Quincy is in a really tough spot with the budget right now, and we're feeling that pain as well. But the more that they know that people in the community value the library, the more they're willing to invest in it. So end of the day, that's one of the biggest things that you can do, is just reaching out to your aldermen and telling them how important our services are to you.
Okay, one last time, everybody, for tuning in. Besides checking out Arts Quincy, which will, of course, aggregate all the information from all the arts organizations that you love, give me those websites one more time.
QuincyLibrary.org. Our Facebook page is Quincy Library. Twitter, Instagram is all under Quincy Library. You can also give us a call at 223-1309 or email reference@quincylibrary.org. And we'll answer your questions, help you with whatever issues, get you signed up for a library card. Anything that we can do for you, we can do it through those means.
Well, thank you, Katie. Thank you, Burgundy. And we will be back next Tuesday. The location is TBD right now, but we will let you know. All of these will be archived on Arts Quincy's brand new YouTube channel. Look for a link in the comments. Thanks, girls.
Thank you.